Welcome to Autofaze. Today it's part 2 of the Turbo WS6 Build. Okay. Thanks for tuning in to the second episode of the Turbo WS6 Build. After the first episode, we got everything wrapped up with the K member and everything involved in that. We also did a couple more goodies while you guys were away, which I'll show you that after this intro. But real quick, Brad, what are we doing on part 2?
So today we are going to be standing the radiator upright. So we're going to modify the factory core support so that we can fit the Griffin radiator in.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So of course, there's a lot of kits on the market that allow you to leave the radiator in the stock position, but most of those turbos are mounted down low.
Right.
So
yeah, you mount them low. Typically, you have to have a scabbage pump. I don't like to do that. I like to mount the turbo up high, so when you pop the hood, everybody knows you're rocking a turbo.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So lots of sparks. We're going to do some cutting. We're going to modify the core support. It's going to be a good time. So come along for the ride. So while you guys were away, the engine bay does look a little bit differently, as you can see over here. Brad custom made these awesome brake lines. Like seriously, so far this is my favorite part of the engine bay. Like I'm just addicted to looking at those things. We'll lift this thing up and I'm going to show you the lines that we made that run across the K member. They are just as spectacular. Instead of tossing the factory rubber lines on, I threw these braided lines on. And check out this work that Brad did. This is just absolutely incredible. And look at these brake lines. They dip in over here and run down the bottom of the K member. Zips in, goes back over. What? Isn't that absolutely crazy? I did do this myself and it looked like absolute garbage. And Brad came over and bailed me out. So obsessed. I am so obsessed just checking out these brake lines. The bends are so smooth. What you doing in there, Brad?
I'm looking to see where I'm gonna cut at. And now we're just going to chop out the top part. We just need to do the radiator cap hole. So that's good there. We're actually good over here. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's gonna look good when it's all cleaned up. Check that. Just a little bit of minor sanding.
Yeah, we should be able to tuck this wiring harness back through there. And then, once you get that, then you can measure for your fans to make sure your fans will fit on there the way you want to do your fans. I mean, there's a significant amount of room there to do what we're going to do.
All types of room for activities. We got everything smoothed out, but we got a tad bit left to do. We did have to modify the harness a little bit, so let's swing around here and I'll show you what it is. We took the cap from the factory radiator. We got a little bit left to smooth out on that, so you can get in there and take it on and off. Now, wiring harness, we did have to pull it out. Let me make it a little bit brighter for you fellas. So it was running basically behind the hood latch, but we couldn't get it to clear over here, so we pulled the harness out. We're gonna run it on the front so everything fits nice and tight. And we're gonna get to getting this thing all mounted up. Now we're gonna modify the Griffin radiator for the steam port. and our custom radiator brackets. Here is the radiator all installed, and man, it turned out way better than I ever imagined. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. We actually made these custom brackets in-house. Do a little bit of heater hose on the bottom, and man, I am just amazed. I mean, check out the fitment on this cap. We wanted to keep the factory core support. That's why we chose this setup. Of course, we're gonna end up painting everything, but this is just everything before it's painted. That's a wrap on episode 2 of standing up a radiator in an F-body. Man, personally, I think this turned out absolutely awesome. There's so much room for activities. It tucks nicely under the core support.
Yeah.
It really turned out great.
It's a super clean look. You still need to keep the factory top, and so it doesn't look like you really modified it, even though you did. And the neat thing is anybody can do this at their house. You don't have to have an expensive plasma cutter like what we use. Obviously, it goes quicker, but if you have like a cutoff wheel, you can cut it with that. If you wanted to get crazy, you might even do it with a Sawzall, but I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah.
I gotta admit, using the plasma cutter, especially seeing it on a video, like playback, throwing the sparks was absolutely awesome.
Yeah. It's always fun making sparks.
Absolutely. So thanks for watching. I'm Travis.
I'm Brad.
We'll see you on episode 3.